How can we be happy again after we've been totally destroyed by his affair? I thought that quite a bit. I wondered, am I ever going to be happy again? Will I ever have joy? Will my life ever be filled with happiness again? If you're wondering that right now and you're struggling with that concept of, will I ever be happy again? And even further, how? How do I find my happiness again? If this is something you're dealing with right now, I encourage you to stick around because I have some ways of thinking about this that may be helpful, so stay tuned. We all want to be happy, don't we? I mean, I think that's our ultimate goal. We most specifically want to be happy again in our marriage. We've lost some of the happiness and the joy that comes with being married to the person we have chosen to spend the rest of our life with. And we ask ourselves sometimes, I'm not happy anymore. Or what I hear most frequently is, he doesn't make me happy anymore. There's some concepts underneath there that I think is important for us to understand before we can determine how to move forward finding our happiness. And the first concept I want to make sure we're all on the same page with and that we all understand is this one very, very important thing. No one can make you happy. It's not your husband's job to make you happy. It's not my job to make you happy. When it comes to our happiness, it's determined by us. Now I'm going to talk about that more in just a second. So that's the first concept I think we need to make sure we understand. No one is put on this earth with this sole responsibility of making us happy. Happiness lives in our boundary. Remember, we talked about boundaries a lot. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I hammer the boundaries. But our boundaries holds within it our emotions, our thoughts, and our actions. And happiness is an emotion. So that belongs to us. It's ours. It's ours to do with this as we please. It's ours to express how we want to express. It's ours to feed and to fuel or to ignore. It's ours. Now, having said that, I know what you're thinking. And absolutely, other human beings, including our husbands, can either contribute to our happiness or they can contribute to our unhappiness. Absolutely, things going on outside of our boundary in the world around us can either contribute to how happy we feel or to how unhappy we feel. Absolutely. But we can't do anything about that. What's happening outside of us is completely without of our control. So if we're asking the question, how can I be happy again? We need to make sure that we're answering this question in a way that we can actually do something about it. What's within our power to bring happiness? So first concept, happiness is up to us, okay? It's not anyone else's responsibility, it's up to us. The second concept is to know that, yeah, absolutely, there are things out there that can contribute to our happiness and unhappiness. And the third concept, and this is the biggie, and if you've seen the video I've created on how to know if we still love him, then this may sound familiar, but it's the same concept. Happiness is a surface level feeling, okay? There is a lot underneath happiness that contributes to this feeling that we call happiness, okay? For instance, when we feel safe, we feel happy. When we feel appreciated, we feel happy. When we feel loved, we feel happy. When we feel valued, we feel happy. When we feel as though someone gets us, someone understands, or someone shows empathy towards us, we feel happy. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a lot under there, okay? And when we're lacking some of those things, we shift from the happy to the unhappy. Now, everything I just named are all feelings that we don't get fed to us by our husband after the affair, or maybe even during the affair, right? We don't feel safe anymore. We don't feel valued. We don't feel appreciated. For some of us, our husband just doesn't get it. They don't understand why we're so moody, and they just want us to move on and forget about it. So they don't have empathy. They don't show compassion. They don't understand. They don't want to listen. They don't want to answer our questions. I mean, there's so much that they can do to contribute to whether we're living in the happy bucket or the unhappy bucket. So when we ask the question, will I ever be happy again? And how can I be happy again? A lot of times we get stuck focusing on what they are or are not doing to contribute, as if there's anything we can do about that, right? And here's an example, okay? Let's say that, your husband, you just, all you want is you want to sit down and you want him to listen to you talk about how hurt you are and how upset you are. But every time you try to do that, he gets defensive or he walks out of the room or something like that. So it's shifting you to unhappy. So what you do in return, which I think is a natural instinct for all of us, is to go, you're making me unhappy. It's your fault. I am not happy. Your actions are making me unhappy. Whereas, yes, his actions are definitely contributing to that. If your goal is to be happy again, you have to figure out how to take all that energy that you're giving to what he's doing to you to put you in that unhappy state and to find a way to make yourself happy, to be happy again. So how do we do that? I mean, how do we, not focus on what he is or is not doing and realize how we can make ourselves happy? Well, I'm going to go back to the first thing I talked about here with the happiness bucket, kind of like I talked about the love bucket. There are so many things that live under your happiness. Understand what's missing. All right? What if it's safety? You don't feel safe. If they're being secretive, if your husband's being super secretive right now, your safety is in jeopardy. So maybe you don't feel safe, and maybe that's what's making you feel unhappy instead of happy. How can you address safety? What boundaries have you created to help keep you safe? Have you talked to him about complete transparency? Has he blocked her on social media? And has he blocked her on his technology, on his phone, all this stuff? What has transpired for you to help you feel safe? Address that. Are you not being heard? Maybe you feel like he just doesn't understand. He doesn't get it, right? You're trying to help him see how devastated you are, and you just don't feel like he gets it. Are you in counseling? Have you taken some steps to find a way to truly communicate with him and help him understand where you're coming from? Have you done those things? Again, you notice I'm talking about everything that's within your power to do. All right, let's say you don't feel loved. You're equating the fact that he had an affair to maybe that he doesn't love you anymore. And, maybe at some point he said that. I don't know. If you're not feeling loved, how can you address that? If you need to feel loved by him, how are you addressing that with him? Are you talking to him about, okay, let's go to counseling, let's work this out, or, in some cases, and I've seen this, maybe he is trying to love you. Maybe he is trying to make you happy, but you're so hurt and devastated, you're not feeling love. Have you taken time to really determine, does he love me? How is he showing me love? Yeah, okay, well, maybe all he's doing is, he bought me my favorite coffee, but whatever. I mean, that's not really showing me love, but to him, maybe it is. Maybe the two of you need to figure out what your love languages are and how to meet them. All of this to say, love and happiness is not that simple. There's so many things living up underneath that. That's what you address. You don't address happiness for the sake of happiness. Happiness is just so many things combined together. Look at it. What's missing? What do you have the power to contribute to your own happiness right now? And what do you need from your husband to help you feel happy again? Address those things underneath. You know, don't just lean into this word happy and assume that it's just this magical thing that one day you're going to wake up. And let me be clear about something. No one is happy all the time. You're going to be happy for 10 minutes and you're going to be sad for 2 hours. And then you'll be happy for 30 minutes and sad for 2. We are going to go back and forth with this. Our recovery is not linear. Our recovery is all over the place. Our feelings are going to take over and bombard us. But I promise you, underneath happy are some things that you can look at, that you can work on. And you know what? What's completely within your power are those things that are just about you. So all that energy you've been putting over to him and saying, he's not doing this, he's not focusing on that, he won't do this, and he keeps doing that, whatever it is, pull that energy back to you. To you. And take time to sit back and go, okay, all right, what do I enjoy? What else lives under happy for me that has absolutely nothing to do with him? Is it maybe going to the spa? Maybe it's quality time with your really good friend. Maybe it's reading a book or having time to yourself or spending quality time with your kids. Whatever it is, if you have the power to really engage in that and dive into that to feed your happy, do it. Do it. Over time, the more of these little things that live in your happy, and everybody's different, by the way. So whatever lives under your happy, once you address them and you start feeding those little things, they become big things. And they start to fill your happiness bucket. But it will not happen if all we're doing is sitting around waiting on our husband to fill the bucket. He doesn't have that power. He doesn't. He can certainly contribute, but when it comes to the bucket as a whole, we have got to do what we have the power to do to help cultivate and create that happiness again. I want that for you. It took me time to find it, but I did, and I want you to have that as well. You know, affair recovery is one of those things that it's hard to think through all of these things, right? When your emotions are going crazy and you're hurting, those are way more powerful than your thoughts. So having, help to go through this is something that I wish I had back in the day. I did have counseling, but I didn't have a me. My counselor had never been through infidelity. So if you're looking for someone to walk this journey with you, someone who gets it, who understands, who can be empathetic with you and say, hey, I feel you. I was super unhappy too, and here's what I did, and here's what helped. You know what? I'm here. I'm a master certified coach. This is my calling, is to help women like you, women like me, who've been through this. So if you're looking for someone to walk that journey with you, I encourage you to reach out to me below. There are a few links. There's a free guide. There's a really great free video that also has a way to get in touch with me on there. You can schedule a free appointment with me. It's just, let's talk. Let's see where you are and let's see how I can help. And then, of course, I have a great group of women in my Facebook group, and we would welcome you as we're all on this journey together. We are a tribe, okay? A tribe maybe we never really wanted to be in, but we're there. What lives under your happy? What's there? What is being neglected, and what do you have the power to feed underneath that happy? Put your energy there. That is where the magic's going to happen, I promise.